Shalom and welcome to Secrets Revealed, the Holy Bible. Today we're going to look at Genesis 42. There are 38 verses, beginning in verse 1. We see Jacob asking his sons, "Why are you indolent?" That's a synonym for lazy. Versus the Masoretic, which says, "Look upon one another." Why do you just look on each other? Makes more sense that he's saying, "Why are you lazy?" Because you see there's a sale of corn, or actually sale of barley, but there's a sale of food going on in Mizraim, in Egypt, and he's asking them, "Why are you being lazy?" Verse 4 says Jacob doesn't want Benjamin to go out because unless disease befall him, versus mischief. Verse 6 says reverence. You can see here that the brothers of Joseph did reverence to him, bowing with the face to the ground. This is an exact fulfillment, word for word, of the prophecy that Joseph spoke of only a few chapters back in Genesis 37, verse 9, his dream, where he said, reverence. They did reverence to him. That's his dream, and it came true. So that's done there. Verse 9 says marks. Joseph is suspecting them or accusing them of being spies. And he said, "You've come to observe the marks of the land." This could mean possibly landmarks, but when you think about it, it's more about the valuable areas, the resources that they can pirate, plunder, or pillage. So he's saying that you've come to kill and steal. You're not here with good intentions. You're not peaceable. You don't come in peace. But verse 11, you see that they say, "No, we are peaceable. We don't come to take advantage and steal." In the Masoretic, it says nakedness, to see the nakedness of the land. I don't know if I mentioned that already. And in the Masoretic, in verse 11, it says true. We are true. So it doesn't make as much sense in the Masoretic. Makes a lot more sense in the Septuagint regarding the context of the story. Verse 19 and the flow of the conversation. Verse 19 says detained. Let one of your brothers be detained in prison versus be bound. We're going to find out that being detained means being bound. In verse 24, we see, verse 19 says, "You go carry the barley you have purchased, bring it back to where you live," versus for the famine of your houses. How does Joseph know? Well, there's a famine all over the world. Verse 24 confirms the binding. It says here that Joseph bound him, Simeon, before their eyes. And it says that in both versions. Verse 28, wonder. This is when they brought the money back, and the father, I should say, the brothers saw the money initially, and they saw their money in their sack. It was restored. Their hearts were wonderstruck, or their heart, seems like they were one man, was wonderstruck versus their heart failed. Now, if you work in the medical field, you will know heart failure is a medical condition that's where someone is code blue, they'll die. However, we can see there was wonderstruck. They were just, wow, what? We were struck with awe, with wonder. Makes more sense that they didn't go through heart failure. Verse 30, put us in prison. So they're telling their father everything that happened to them, not just what befell them. And in verse 29, I just kind of omitted that. It's not a big difference, but it says, we were put into prison. He put us to prison, in the prison. The Masoretic just omits that completely. So that's an important detail. So the father doesn't know that they were in prison in the Masoretic. And they were there for 3 days. It says that in both versions. Verse 34 says trade. You shall trade in the land versus you shall traffic in the land. So a lot of people have a negative connotation with trafficking, drug trafficking, human trafficking. Traffic is in transportation, car traffic, vehicular traffic versus trade. You're trading, doing commerce, trading money, trading food, trading money for food, etc. Last verse is 38, and we see that Jacob is saying, Benjamin is the only one left. He only has been left. He's the only one left, technically, or more specifically, of the wife. It was Rachel. She only had 2 sons from her womb, and he's the only one who has been left. The Masoretic says he is left alone. So I sometimes understood that, or some people can read this as, oh, he's left alone, so he's a loner. No one talks to him. He's just socially exiled. He's shunned. No, he's the only one left. So that's what he's talking about. You gotta wonder that the other sons were going, hey, what does that make us? We're not part of the family. So, but you can see that definitely has favoritism, a bias, shows partiality towards Joseph and Benjamin, and he just loved Rachel that much in comparison to Leah. But I think it's the favor that he has on these 2 sons specifically that Jacob has. So that's all I have to say about this chapter. Thank you for your time. Jehovah bless you and make your way prosperous. Till next time, next episode, we'll look at Genesis 43. This is Jack Knight signing off for Secrets Revealed, the Holy Bible. Shalom.